What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video. I apologize if you guys can hear the cicadas outside, and if you don't know what they are, there's these little bugs. They're synonymous with the East Coast right now. They live underground for 17 years, come up, mate, reproduce, and their young go into the ground for 17 more years or something like that. But it's like hot. It's like almost 100 degrees out here. These things make a lot of noise, so when you walk outside, you can feel like this humming, like pulsating sound in the heat, and it's kind of cool but kind of annoying at the same time. This is a big deal for me anyway. This box contains a game that I have been wanting on the Neo Geo, either AES or MVS. No matter, I'll jump on the first train smoking with this game for the longest time, and that is Razion. This is, of course, Razion EX for the Nintendo Switch. I've bought and sold Neo Geo systems just trying to play the Neo Geo version of this shooter. I missed out on a copy a few years ago for 600 bucks. I'm, kicking myself for not jumping on that. I mean, it's a lot of money though. I didn't really have it at the time. And I never found another affordable copy since then, but found out this was coming out on the NGDevTeam site, and I've been a big fan of their work. Although I haven't bought any of their Neo Geo games, I have bought everything pretty much except for maybe Lost Hope, Pink Bullets. I think that's the only one. Everything else I got for the Dreamcast. This was the only shooter that I could think of that they never really ported to the Dreamcast. They did some running gun stuff that never got ported, Crowdbuster. But this game never got ported, and the ROM never got dumped. And I don't know if that's because the ROM size is so big. This is a CGI game, so it has those CD quality computer graphics. Maybe something about the ROM with CD quality stuff going on. But I don't know. Maybe for whatever reason the ROM never got ported. I would have paid for the ROM of this game to run on some type of emulator, but maybe there's an issue doing it. I don't know. If you guys know anything about that, please let me know in the comments. There was never any type of repros made of it, or really any of the NGDevTeam games, except for on the Dreamcast, of course, right? That's like the easiest thing to to rip and burn on the Dreamcast, which is a strength in this day and age. Making repros and making just making new games on the hardware and porting it. Makes it a lot easier. But this is, these collector's editions from NGDevTeam, they're pretty much like what you'd get from East Asia Soft or Play Asia. You get the game, some type of little art cards or whatever, and the soundtrack, and that's pretty much all I want. For me, the game and the soundtrack is like the most important part of a collector's edition. Or just pretty much any type of game that I'm paying a little bit extra for. Like, I really, really want that soundtrack. And right now, I'm doing everything that I can not to bend this box up. Back in the day, or even a few years ago, I wouldn't have cared. I would have just dug my finger in the side of that box and just pulled that flap out. But, now, especially now with the way prices are on things, I try to take that extra step to be a little bit careful, especially with a game like this that I really wanted for a long time. Or at least I wanted a version of it for a really long time. Now, you would think that I'm probably more excited about this release than I was when Crimzon Clover got ported to the Nintendo Switch. And this is like one of those games that I really wanted to get ported. Just the fact that I could never play it, never emulate it. It was just stuck on that system. And right now, in a way, it's kind of stuck on the Switch too, because they only made a certain amount of copies of these. And there's no digital release right now, at least here in the US, maybe out in Germany for the Switch. I don't know. If you guys do, let me know in the comments. I know there's a ton of people right now that if they could just change the region of their Switch and download it that way, that would be like a great option for them. I don't know if that's a thing, but again, if you're a German viewer and you know anything about that, or if it's available in your territory, no matter what territory it is, please comment down below. That way people can get on and actually play this shooter. I actually got an extra copy to give away at some point. I'm not going to do it right now because I just got to figure out, who all wants it and stuff like that. But I did get an extra copy to give away. So you guys look forward to that if you're really, stumped on, how to find a copy or whatever. I did. Like I said, got an extra copy. I'm going to toss it out to you guys at some point, probably within the next 5 or 6 weeks or whatever. Like I said, I just want to kind of do it the old school way and throw a bunch of names in a hat. I'm not going to rely on computers to generate names and stuff like that. Screw all that. But yeah, we got a manual with a notes section. I always like that. That gets a thumbs up from me. But we got a manual. We got some inner cover art here. Here's these art cards right here. Let's just take a look at these for a second. Now, I don't know if these are like stickers or what those are. I don't know, but yeah, cool little art cards or postcards, I guess these would be. I'm not sure. But again, this is very, very similar to the kind of stuff that you would get in an East Asia Soft or, you know, a game you buy from PlayAsia, like one of their more premium releases. And then the soundtrack, which I do dig the soundtrack to this game. Yeah, it's like it's got like kind of like a drum and bass vibe to it. And plus, you know, soundtracks, people like me, YouTubers like myself, sometimes these shooters have really good soundtracks. And I know for me anyway, a lot of times when a shooter, especially like a Dojin shooter, has like a fire soundtrack, I will totally use that in my YouTube video. And, you know, again, like hip-hop artists that I like from back in the day, sometimes I'll use their music. I won't monetize the video. And then the video will still be monetized because I'll let them grab the video. It's my little way of giving back. But yeah, this is pretty much everything that you get. This is totally acceptable for a collector's edition in 2021 for me. A physical version of the game. There's no DLC on it. I've checked at this point. Some art cards and a soundtrack. Perfect collector's edition, at least in 2021. So what do I think about Razion? I've only played it for a couple of days now, and I've been crazy busy at work, so I haven't really had a lot of time to do anything. But I do like what I played. I do like the mechanics. I do like the charge mechanics. So the thing with this game, the gimmick is you have this, your special is pretty much, it's rechargeable. There's a charge meter at the bottom of the screen. That thing refills and you can fire off a big shot. A shot that's a little bit wider than the size of your ship, and that pretty much clears anything in its path. It wouldn't clear an enemy that takes multiple shots, but it will clear popcorn enemies. There might be environmental things that it could help clear out for you. The fact that it's rechargeable is a lot more handy than just having like 3 bombs, let's say, in Neo XYX. And you can see that when you play Neo XYX and you play a game like this, like Razion, you can see that the NGDevTeam influence in Neo XYX, because, you know, apparently that wasn't really their game. The guy went on to make Super XYX. It's actually out on Steam. For whatever reason, that game won't run on my computer. Maybe it will now. Hopefully they updated it. But I hope we get a port of that on the Switch. Like that's my next thing I'm going to be rooting for, is a port of Super XYX. But that's a whole different thing. Let's try to focus on Razion. So I dig the mechanics. I dig the fact that this is a CGI game. And that was one of the things that always interested me in wanting to play it on the Neo Geo. I saw like footage of like people like holding a camcorder in front of a CRT, and I saw the graphics, and I was like, God damn. You know, of course I saw that footage of the machine that kind of looks like the robot from Terminator, like kind of shifting its head. You know, that I was sold after I saw that, but you know, so many years went by, I was never able to get this game on the Neo Geo. Either the AES or the MVS. I sold an AES once because I was so frustrated in the fact that I couldn't find a copy of this game. But, oh God. Anyway, I like what I've played so far. The mechanics are pretty much like I said. You have that charge mechanic, that special, and then you have, I want to say, a focus shot and a spread shot, but it's not really so much as like a focus shot, spread shot. It's more of a slower shot and a faster pace shot. Of course, I'm gonna always go towards the slower shot to bob and weave, you know. But yeah, the mechanics on this game are solid. There's reworked and retooled, obviously, stuff in this game. According to the NGDevTeam website, we have 16-bit CGI graphics. We have other changes to the EX version. These are all changes to the EX version. We have reworked gameplay, difficulty changes, added bullet canceling. I'm not sure where they fit that in, but I'm sure it's in there. Reworked controls, 32-bit effects, widescreen, added small ending. Haven't gotten that far yet. Scanline filter, that seemed to be default when I ran the game. I turned that off. Yeah, I turned that off. Maybe I'll turn it on and try it out. Let's see, rework scoring mechanics. You know, I never played the original, so I can't say there either. Unlockable continues. That was a big thing in Crimzon Clover. The limiter shop was buying the continues. But yeah, at this point, At this point right now, as of the recording of this video, I might have 5 or 6 continues. I'm going to try to actually beat the game today. Hell, I might live stream it. So if I am, you know, hey, stop by and say hi. You have a training mode, you have CD quality music, and yeah, that's pretty much it. At least according to the NGDevTeam website. Yeah. The actual game itself has 6 stages. And it says 6 stages with 6 varied settings. I would hope they would be. I would hope the levels wouldn't run together. You have 6 huge, it says this, huge end bosses, not just end bosses, and they are pretty big. I wouldn't really disagree there. 7 sub bosses and 3 game modes, obviously. Novice, you know, whatever regular would be in an expert or maniac mode or whatever they call it. Yeah, so, you know, not super complicated, but again, I wouldn't want my shooter to be super complicated. There's some like some doujin shooters have so many mechanics going on that it's, especially if it's in Japanese, it totally turns me off. But I do like this. I feel like this, at least on novice mode. I'm gonna work on I'm gonna bump up the difficulty, obviously, but I do want to focus on this game for a little bit since this game it got ported. I finally got a copy of it. Hell, I might as well play the game, right? So I'm gonna focus on this, not play any RPGs, and just try to get good at least one shooter, you know, over the next, I want to say, couple months. But yeah, anyway, that's Razion, guys. Get at me in the comments. I got a copy I'm going to give away within the next 5 or 6 weeks or so. Till next time, guys. Peace out.